go.
Good. Load the hips back. I'm just going to demonstrate one where you pop the hips to get that kettlebell to eye level. Think of leg extension, like the strongest leg press you've ever done. Okay. You ready?
Yep. You ready?
And load and pop.
No! The triangle is missing. Great veteran, Gregory van Lebe here. We're all about kettlebells. So, if you are into kettlebells, you have to like this video and consider subscribing. And if you know anyone that I should react to, then let me know down in the comments.
The kettlebell is a great alternative to dumbbells because it combines cardio and strength training.
I wouldn't say the dumbbell is an alternative to the kettlebell. It's a different tool. An alternative would be if I say I use the indoor rower as an alternative to going down the lake outside or outdoors or in real water. That's an alternative. The reason why I say this is because many people treat the kettlebell like a dumbbell, and while you can do it to a certain extent, the kettlebell has unique properties that the dumbbell doesn't have.
The next move is called an uppercut. Okay. Since your shoulders are warm, we're going to start to use a little bit more legs, a little more abs. You're going to start with the kettlebell in one hand, palm facing down. You're going to squat down just a little to...
You can only do this with baby weights. These are, for example, baby weights by my brother, Moses Dunca. These are kettlebells for kids. So that's a that's a 2 kg. Now, I can hold it like this and do stuff with it. Yet the idea is not to treat the kettlebell like a dumbbell, but to treat it like, especially when you are getting a little bit more advanced, to treat it as a ballistic tool. So that's why you need to have some proper weights. And I can do with this baby weights, I can do that stuff. See this?
Pass the kettlebell around your body, grab with the other hand, and uppercut, like a punch. Pass through, grab, and around. So notice that we're staying around one leg, and then you'll switch to the other leg. Good, keep that tailbone tucked under, knees over the toes, pull the kettlebell to your chest, and push it out like a heartbeat, heartbeat, heartbeat. So this may look easy.
Again, with a heavy kettlebell, problem that I see is this squat looks like a back squat turned into a front squat. This is what we see many times. I've critiqued this many times on this channel. When you have weight in front of you, even if it's baby weight, you engage in the biomechanics of a front squat. And this is where the idea comes from, where you can push maybe the kettlebell out. This is actually what the goblet squat is all about, so you can keep balance. Yet in this case,
good. Right arm, right leg. Step that.
Always make sure you keep the kettlebell close in the medial line when you rack weights. With baby weights, as we always know, your shoulder maybe doesn't feel it, but with heavier weights, if I have it like this, it pulls down, so this may cause trouble in the shoulder because the weight is right here, so it pulls down on my lateral side away from me. But if I rack it, I have more safety and I'm stronger from that position.
And then you're going to reach down, grab the kettlebell, keeping your chest and spine neutral, and then use your legs to stand all the way up. Let's do that again. Load the hips, pushing the hips back. Yep. Then barely lower the hips.
Now when you see what she does in the back right here, she does some form of a squat. And you want to understand a deadlift is a hinge, then your body goes down, and you always keep your hips higher than your knees because you want more engagement of your posterior chain. A squat is where you lower your hips down to your knees or even further. So there we have also similar muscle groups, so maybe some little bit more work of your quads. And while we engage in similar muscle groups, we want to understand that a squat still is different than a deadlift, especially when we talk about starting position. So where is the weight placement?
Now we send the hips back like the deadlift, but then we're going to drop down. Maria's going to stop at about hip level. There you go.
You see how similar her execution looks? Squat, deadlift, two different types of moves that still engage in similar muscle groups. And another thing that I want to mention about the squat, it is a front squat at the end of the day. And depending on your mobility and depending on your anthropometric structure, so how is your hip built, how are your legs built, this may be that this influences the way you squat. Here we go.
Good. Load the hips back. I'm just going to demonstrate one where you pop the hips to get that kettlebell to eye level. Think of leg extension, like the strongest leg press you've ever done. Okay. You ready?
Yep.
You ready?
And load and pop.
No! The triangle is missing. Now you know what the triangle is. The kettlebell's in front of you, you take a step back, and then you grab the bell on the floor, you start pulling it in, and you start working. Now, can you do this? What she
Strongest
does
leg
right
press
here?
you've ever done. Okay. You ready?
Yes, you can do it.
And load and
With
pop.
light weights, but not with heavier weights. And now people may say, well, but I need light weights to start. You're right. But once you are progressing and you understand the movement, you need heavier weights because you use your strongest muscles, your hip muscles, and they need some heavier weight for the proper feedback. Otherwise, you always use your arms, or you always keep staying arm dominant with the kettlebell. I think this differentiation between American and Russian swing, no, it's just a swing. Yes, we can talk about styles, even though if you ask my brother Sean Mosen, he says it's just high tension or high volume. I still think it's a great way if you put it into style categories. We have kettlebell sports swing, we have hardstyle swing, and I believe there's something in between. We call it the hybrid swing. Yet Russian, American, yeah, the American is over here, but I don't think makes a lot of sense. That's just my take on calling it a country swing. The hybrid swing is a Swiss swing from now on, a Swiss swing.
Notice the kettlebell's only going eye level. And at the top of the motion,
Yeah, and I see this, watch this.
only going eye level. And at the top of the
This is typical for arm engagement. Arm engagement because you're pulling it upwards, elbows extended, and this is just the coach's eye talking now. If your arms are loose, it looks completely different, and for that, you need heavier weights in order to understand the positioning and the function of your arms. When you're swinging, you really want to engage in a hinge, pushing those hips back and really get some momentum, draw and load your hips, and then boom, you send the kettlebell flying. That's why you need a proper hinge, a strong hinge, and you need the proper weight.
modified version is eye level, and
Now
I
here we go
myself
with
are
the
going to go
American
overhead
swing.
to a full American swing.
Yeah, like I told you what I think about the American swing.
Same thing, load the hips, create power through the hip extension to pop that kettlebell to that position, and then catch and pop. We're gonna
Again, what happens in that case? You bring the kettlebell up. Now, I believe, and physiotherapists confirm this, that you may put your shoulder in a delicate position like this, especially ballistically. That's one thing. The second thing is once the kettlebell's on top, again, what are you engaging when the kettlebell's overhead? Your arm muscles. Again, you are feeding the arm dominant behavior instead of letting the arm loose to start engaging your hips more. And that's why I think another reason why the American swing doesn't make a lot of sense. So my conclusion about POPSUGAR's workout is I like the exercise selection. Deadlift, squat, swing. What I don't like is this description of the Russian and the American swing, and I don't particularly am fond of the American swing. We've talked about the form issues. We've talked about the problem with the weight of the kettlebell, and I think we are now coming into a full realization, if you've been watching this channel for a longer time, that there is a category of people who treat the kettlebell completely different than what it was designed to do. The kettlebell has a specific and unique function, and you heard it in the beginning how they say, wow, it's a great alternative, instead of saying it's a completely different tool. And once you realize that the kettlebell is a different tool, you treat it completely differently.
90 Days of Kettlebells is an online workout course for beginners who want to train at home, lose weight, and achieve lasting results without wasting time and money with crash diets and unused gym memberships. The program works as follows. You will do 3 kettlebell workouts per week that gradually increase in difficulty. You'll also build 3 powerful eating habits that have proven successful in our coaching. As the name implies, the program lasts 90 days and you will have lifelong access after purchase. We also include live accountability sessions where you will publicly state your goals. Psychology shows us that if we make our goals public, our adherence to the process and the program increases dramatically. If you have been struggling to put together an elaborate kettlebell workout system while trying to lose weight, then 90 Days of Kettlebells is for you. The price of 90 Days of Kettlebells is $59 per month for 3 months, and you can save 20% with a one-time payment of $147. We'll open registration only to a small number of new clients. Join the waiting list now to get access 24 hours before the general public. Link is in the description.